Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Greg Harrelson again. Hopefully, you recognize me on the Real Estate Sales Solutions Facebook group. This is my good partner, and you probably have seen Brendan and I do things before, but this is Brendan Payne, and he and I are going to have a good conversation about video and how to use it to increase engagement and also to increase conversion. So first of all, Brendan, I said Abe, Abe and I do this a lot too. So Brendan, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. And I know that you've done a good job with video also, but welcome. Sure. And let's bring the heat if we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Good. So, let's just kind of start off with real quick, video. What are your thoughts on video? Because look, you and I are partners in Century 21 Expert Advisors in Charleston, South Carolina. You're a great producer here in the Myrtle Beach office. We've talked to agents for years about video, and for some reason, video doesn't seem to take off with most agents. Mm-hmm. Why do you think so few agents are using video to either, create an identity, control a narrative, tell a story, brand themselves? Why do you think people are just not using it?
There's probably, everybody's probably got their own little hangups with it, but I think it's most of them, they just don't get started. There's a lot of things that not knowing for sure what to say, not knowing who to send it to, not knowing the technical side of how do you get it sent. I think there's probably people that are struggling with all those things, but probably the biggest thing that keeps them from doing it consistently is actually starting the very first one, because we all know, when we first started one, people might think something we do now is terrible, but the first ones we did were pretty terrible. I look back in some of them in 2008 that I still have out on YouTube, and they were brutal, but they were the first one. And so the better ones came quicker. I think it's just actually going and saying it's going to be part of any business at some point. So why not start it today?
Yeah. It's fun. Every once in a while, a video will show up in my Facebook feed as a memory, right? And I'm like, holy cow! Not only did I look, extremely much younger, but I agree. I used to have the. You remember this because I think we started videos a long time ago. Maybe me and you kind of started doing it together a long time ago. And I had that board, that stand with the paper that we'd write on.
Flip it over.
Yeah, and flip it over, and then we graduated to the dry erase board in the cabinet.
Whiteboard.
Yeah, the whiteboard.
Never fully erased. Just always had months worth of previous presentations.
Could never get all the ink off of it. And now here we are, just kind of like a little bit of chicken scratch notes on a little notepad, and then we just go with it. Yeah. So I just want to say for those of you that are listening, especially our Level Up podcast followers. Video is incredible for increasing engagement between you, your hot leads, you and your database. It's also incredible in the area of increasing conversion. Now, a lot of people are like, well, how does video increase conversion? Well, video increases conversion in this fashion. You can build a deeper connection with your database and your leads when they hear your voice and see your face versus just hearing your voice or seeing your type. So if you're typing a text, that's great. It's better than an email, and email's great. But all that is just words on some sort of, white background. Voice is probably a little bit better about, in terms of driving or building a better connection than email and text. But video and voice would be much better than all of those. So obviously we should be doing all of them, but the one that drives connection the best is the one that agents do the least. So the more you connect, the better your conversion ratio is. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the connection part is huge. And I think one thing that we probably lose sight of in this business is we're in the sales business. So when we're in conversations with people in the now, on the phone with them, then we, there's that relationship where the other side understands, like, we have something to gain. We're compensated off of putting deals together. And so when you're in that conversation, then there's a certain level of trust and commitment that maybe they know about you. But when they're watching video on something that maybe you did 6 months ago and it's talking about a topic that's relevant to them today, they know that's real. They know that's not part of some talk track that you're just having a conversation with them and trying to influence them and persuade them to do something. It's something that was around that you've stood for and you've been educating people on for a long time. And that is, I think that goes a long way with people when they see something that's you've done that you're saying that's outside of that immediate conversation you might be having with them.
Yeah, that's good. So one of the things that I wanted to you know what, I'm going to add one more thing because you started making me think. I thought that was a good point. Is it's your true authenticity can come out when you're on a video too, because your facial expressions, they can hear your tone, but when you match a facial expression and a body movement in the tonality all together, that's where connection and rapport can be built. And I just, if nothing else, that's important. So Brendan and I kind of brainstormed a little bit, and we think about video all the time because we're trying to figure out, okay, what kind of content should we be producing for our buyers and sellers? And we came up with a list of things that we just wanted to share with you, some ideas. You want to go ahead and maybe we'll just alternate, Brendan. Maybe you give an idea, I'll give an idea. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, the one I was going to write down that I just wrote down, I didn't even think about it, but it came up this morning is active clients.
Oh.
If you've got active clients right now, this could be buyers or sellers, take the time right now to do a quick video to them and let them know what's going on for the next couple of weeks. And it could be something simple. Could be, listen, I'm going to be out for a couple of days, or I'm doing this, or, we're having the open house the second, the first couple of days of January. Connect with them now, because the perception that your clients have right now is you're probably not working a whole lot. And whether you are or you aren't, it's okay. But if you can get out ahead of that and let them know, hey, here's a message, then you're going to be a lot further ahead. And, you're also going to probably avoid those questions, those interruptions when you are doing some things with the family where they're wanting to know, like, is anything going on Christmas Eve with my house? Well, you just sent them a video on Monday before Christmas Eve. It's a great opportunity to have them understand you're still on the ball. You've got things going on, and they're updated on what's happening. So whether it's your active buyers you're working with now or your listings, I think getting them a video out now, just letting them know you're around, what you're up to, is a good thing to do.
Yeah, kind of setting expectations, right? If you'll set the expectations up front from what they can expect from you. By the way, even if you're setting the expectation, hey, I traditionally take a lot of time off the week of Christmas, it's so acceptable. It's when they call you, you've taken the time off and you don't return their call, that all of a sudden they're like, what's wrong with this person? They feel like that's bad service. But if you tell them that you're not going to be around, and then they're not going to call. So it's setting the expectation. That's really a good one. I like that one. So one of the ones that I wrote down here is taking your hot leads. Okay. So now a hot lead is subjective. That's going to be determined by what you believe is a hot lead based on your own standards. For me, a hot lead is somebody who's going to probably list the property within the next 7, maximum 10 days. Like, to me, that's a hot lead. It's somebody that's doing business right now. And we're just kind of working out some details so they can make a final decision on pricing or some other detail of their property. It's someone we already know they're going to sell, and they're likely to be doing this within the next 7 to 10 days. That would be my definition. Now, your definition could be 30 days. It could be 15 days. It could be whatever you want it to be. Okay. It's okay. It's subjective. It's based on your business. But whatever your hot lead is, or it could be a hot lead buyer lead, or it could be a hot lead seller lead. These are two different ideas. You would just take the camera, you would hit video. You have to hit that little flip thing so it videos you. Let it see you. And then you would just say, Hey, Brendan. Hey, it's Greg Harrelson here. Just wanted to, say Merry Christmas. I happen to be doing a little bit of busy work in the office today, and I crossed paths with your name, and I thought about you, and just wanted to wish you a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and just I'm hoping that you get to enjoy some time relaxing, enjoying time with friends, family, or by yourself, whatever is best for you. Just let me know if I can ever do anything for you in the future. Again, happy holidays. And that's it.
Yep.
Now, if you want to do it to a bigger bulk, then you could say, hey, it's Greg Harrelson. I was just thinking about you. I was working and came across your name. So you could do the same thing without mentioning Brendan's name. But I will say, if you'll mention the name, it'll drive deeper connection. And remember, these are your hot leads. If you do that between now and say the next week, no matter what time of year it is, whether it's before Christmas, after Christmas, if you just do that with all your hot leads right now over the next couple of days, you're going to be amazed at how many people are going to text you back. So I would do that video and then I would text it to my hot leads. Now, my hot leads, I guarantee you that some of you listeners are going to get, or all of you listeners are going to get huge engagement, and you'll know that by the text replies. But I guarantee you, some of them are going to be replies where your hot lead takes a video and says, hey, Greg, I thought that was a neat little touch. I appreciate you for sending me that video. And I just thought I would send you one back. Merry Christmas. We'll talk as soon as the holiday's over. Guaranteed that you're going to get that. Yeah. So not only do we increase engagement, but when you get a text back like that with a video, guess what you did? You actually increased the connection, got a deeper connection with them, and that's going to show up in conversion. I guarantee you lock down that deal if you do that.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yep, love it. Another one that we had here was, let's say you've got a specific community you've been working, a farm or an area that you've really hit with a lot of communication over the years. Then going ahead and doing a specific video for that community or that part of your database that gets more in touch with what that community actually is. And maybe it's an update. Maybe it's just hey, just wanted to check in with you. It's between, now we're right between Christmas and New Year's. And I just appreciate you allowing me to be a resource. It's probably going to be somewhere that you've sent some things to before in the past, so they're going to know you. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the ones where there's not a reason to go out and really sell yourself on anything. This is just really checking in, saying, I'm thinking about you and I appreciate you allowing me to, come into your home on a video, on a text, on an email, and being a resource for you. And the same thing, you can reference something that's going on. God, I was through the neighborhood the other day. It's beautiful. All the lights, all the stuff that everybody's got going on, people playing outside. It's awesome. Just want to say hi, and we'll chat after the new year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's another good one. And, I get a lot of questions a lot of times, Brendan, and they say, okay, if I'm going to do some sort of update, like a market update, what are a few things that I say? Like, what do I say about the market? Is there a few data points that you would recommend?
Yeah, I think that people are always wanting to know, obviously the conversation right now is they say, how's the market, but they're really wanting to know what's going on with prices. And, that's always a question where it's going to ultimately depend on the home. But you know what, we've seen a lot of homes are selling quickly, and a lot of them are selling at or sometimes even over asking price. That's a good message if it's happening in the neighborhood. Then also hitting days on market. I think people want to know, how long is it going to take when they put a property on the market? How long is it going to take? Because they see some neighbors sell really, really quickly. Then they see some homes that are on the market for months and months, and they don't understand, like, it's confusing to them. So I think if you can hit, how long is it taking homes to sell? Are they selling? And what's kind of going on with prices? That's a nice high level overview that I think a lot of people are going to appreciate.
Yeah, and so what you just outlined is the template, because you can do that over and over again. Like, you could do that every month, right? Mm-hmm. You could send that text video every single month to your database or to your leads, and letting them know what's going on in the market. And I think an informed consumer is one of the things that we should be trying to accomplish. We want to make sure that we're informing the consumer as to what's really going on. So I like that. I just I added one here that brand new that I just thought of as you were talking. If anybody out there is working for sale by owners and you've got some, let's just say that you've went and toured some homes. You should take every for sale by owner that you have toured their property but have not listed that property. You should send them a text video like the one I shared in the beginning. And that would be, hey, Brendan, it's Greg. I just wanted to touch base with you. I was going through and my notes and I remember touring your property. You have a fantastic property. I don't know if you've sold that yet, but I just was thinking about you. Wanted to say, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, Happy January, Happy February. You're just kind of using whatever the time frame is. It really doesn't matter if it's Christmas, if it's New Year's, if it's the middle of January, if it's the beginning of February. It's, hey, I was just thinking about you. And I remember touring your property and you've got a fine property, wanted to check in to see if you sold that. But more importantly, I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you and I'm here if there's anything you need. So no matter what you say, the thing is, no matter what the script is, as long as you're not selling hard, the video touch is the key. These things will do wonders for you. And I know people are going to take our advice here, Brendan, and do this, and they're going to get tremendous results. But that would be another one. Just hit those for sale by owners, because for sale by owners, the more rapport you have and the longer you follow up with these for sale by owners, the more likely you're going to convert them. It'll give you an advantage over the competition who's not connecting at this level.
Yeah. Yep. Another one that you came up with I thought was really, really unique was could be for your leads, could be for people that you just, maybe even your COIs would be a good one for this. So if you've got a specific sold in a neighborhood, it doesn't have to be yours. Again, not on the subject of let's sell how great we are right now in this video, but a particular sold in a neighborhood, and there's a couple people I've talked about that might be doing something. Pull the link down, copy the link, send it to them with a quick video. Hey, Greg, it's Brendan. Listen, I don't know if you saw this one or yet, but this home just sold, went under contract in your neighborhood, and great looking property, about 35 days on the market. Hope all is well. Let me know how I can help you out going into the new year. Just something easy like that. You're referencing something that's valid to them. It's their neighborhood. It's something new, active. And the perception at that point is you're on the ball. You know what's happening in the neighborhood. You're kind of keeping an eye on the stuff that is important to them if they're thinking about maybe making a move and talking with you about doing business in the future.
Yeah. I was just thinking at that end of that text, like you could text that video like you just shared, right? And then you could add a little bit of text, right? Hey, do you know this home that just sold? Are you familiar with this home that just sold in your neighborhood? Then, and with the video, first of all, they're all going to watch the video. They're going to go to that link and they're going to flip through those properties. And then they're going to come back and answer your text. Now you're in a dialogue.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get things like this. Oh, yes, I know that home. As a matter of fact, ours is way better conditioned than that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. See, that's engagement. That's what we're looking for right there. That's the opening. You know what? I figured it was, and that's why I wanted to show you that. That would be your next response. And then their response will be something like, hey, you know what? Why don't we touch base in the next couple of days? Okay, good. I'll give you a call on Monday. Okay, great. Have a nice week.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how this dialogue's going to go. So the other version of this is the buyer version of this. So that was to a seller, your seller leads, seller database, etc. The other version would be for the buyer. So for the buyer, you would take a link of a property that might be newer on the market, or maybe a property that's just been on the market that fits the criteria of the buyer, your buyer lead, and you just say, you could you send this video, but then with the video you text something like this: check out the kitchen, check out this pool, check out this backyard, check out this. Like you want to check out blank, which is some photo that they have to actually click the link and go through the photos to find that photo to actually be able to check it out. That's the whole key with why you're doing that. Okay. That's engagement. That's engagement. So, and then the video would say, hey, I was just thinking about you. I saw this particular property. Let me know what you think about it. Tell me what you think about this. Boom. So whether you do a video, I'm sorry, but I kind of mixed that up there. I said a video and a link. In this scenario, you would just send a link of that property, and then you would just check, you would then text that link plus, hey, I thought about you on this particular property. What do you think about the kitchen? They're going to click the link, they're going to look through it, and then they're going to text you. Now you've got engagement. So think of this. Let me explain this to everybody, at least my thoughts. Here's the importance of engagement. Engagement is a way to measure how much time they invest in you. I call it mind share. Engagement is what we want to measure that tells us how much time they invest in you. So when I'm sending that link and I say, check out this kitchen, they click the link and then they flip through and then they text me back, and then I text them and they text me back, and then I text them, and then we decide we're going to connect in a few days. That is mind share. I just occupied maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes of their mind, which helps me build a stronger connection. So whether you're texting links or you're texting videos, these are incredible ways to increase engagement.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else on the list?
Yeah, no, not on the list, but I
Okay.
want to ask you this because,
okay.
So hundreds, maybe thousands of videos, I bet, that you and I have sent out to prospects, clients, everything.
Thousands.
Can you put your finger on what you think was the most effective video that you've ever sent to a client?
Oh, I know exactly the most effective video I've ever sent to a client.
Which one?
Well, that would be the videos on the hurricanes.
Okay. Yeah, that one category. Absolutely. Yes. One that had nothing to do with sales, and it was just an update on what's going on, right?
Yeah, it was an update on what was going on in the weather in Myrtle Beach, because we were getting ready to have a hurricane, and I knew they lived out of town and they were watching national news, and it looked like Myrtle Beach was going to fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And so I did a video and just let them know, I'll keep them up to date. Here's what's going on. The video was shot down at the beach, and my engagement, the number of thank yous I got from that was just incredible.
Okay. So after that, because there's going to be people watching this, they're like, well, I don't have a hurricane. I don't have anything to go with that. I might not have a weather update. Beyond that, can you say?
Beyond
anything,
that,
I mean, is there anyone out there that's like, oh my gosh, that was the one?
No, I would say no. I mean, I think they're all good. Yeah. So the hurricane was that was an exception. That's one of those, like, if there's ever something newsworthy and you get an opportunity to bring some certainty and some relief to people, that's always there. But they only come once every 5 years.
Yep.
Other than that, I would say the best thing about the videos that I have done, there is no best video besides that one. There's no best video. And I would say, and just one video a year wasn't enough. It was, what's great is like the consistency of videos. That's the best thing that I can think about this whole process.
Yeah. So I don't think anybody's going to be able to say this is the one, because everybody responds to something a little bit differently. So we can't pinpoint and say, you know what, if I did this video, it got this result, or this one worked really good all the time. There is none of that. We can't say with this video, I got X amount of deals, but I can say that if I never would have done any, there would have been countless deals that I never would have gotten, because somewhere along the way, something that somebody watched made an impact. We talk about it all the time. We get calls today that people are like, we ask them, just out of curiosity, you're my database, how did you come across calling me? Well, that video you did back in 2014, 6, 7 years ago. And it's something that made an impact. And they take that and they put it in their little folder of this is the person that I trust, this is the person that I need information from, and then they go back to you. But if you don't start it and you don't do it consistently, then you're going to miss all those opportunities. So don't get stuck on trying to figure out exactly what to say, exactly when to send it. Take these ideas and just go.
Yeah. Yeah. Such great advice. You know, what just came across my mind is like, it's like an old friend that you haven't talked to in a while. Stop thinking about, well, what would I talk about? Should I call him? No, I'm not going to call him because I don't know what to say. No, I'm not going to call him. It's just like, just call and say hello.
Yeah.
Like that's what's meaningful anyways, you know? And so this, the whole art of this video communication that we're talking about is not necessarily about how great your message is. It's about you honoring another person by taking the time to touch them in a way that no one else is touching them. Like that's the key, is like it's the connection and the bond that you're building by face-to-face communication, because this is about as good as it gets face-to-face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, besides being body to body, this is it. This is the way to do it. It's like me and you are face to face right now, you know, as we're you know, doing this this podcast,
Yeah.
and these videos. And it's about as close as we can get without being in the same room, you know. And that's the key, is, and what I'm hearing you say, Brendan, is let's get rid of the resistance of what do I say.
Yeah.
Just share the information or the scripts that we just shared with you. Just do those to get started. And then you'll end up finding that you'll become you'll become more and more creative over time, and you'll get better and better at it.
Yep.
Well, good. All right. Well, so you know, Brendan, I tell you what, this is a good topic. So for those of you, you know, Level Up podcast, you know, members, please, you know, take some of these tips that Brendan and I just shared with you and put them into action. And for those of you that are on that follow us on the Level Up podcast, if you have not, you know, joined to become a member of the Real Estate Sales Solution Facebook page, please do that. And then, of course, for those of you that are members of Real Estate Sales Solutions, please maybe subscribe to the Level Up podcast, you know, via Podbean, Stitcher, your Apple, you know, podcasts and whatnot. We'd love you, you know, to join. Also, please bring comments and let us know how we're doing, or if you have any questions or whatnot. Just, you know, leave a comment, give us a 5-star review, or just any review. We sure would appreciate it. And Brendan, I like myself, they can reach me on Facebook Messenger if they ever have any questions. How about yourself?
That's perfect. Yep.
Okay, well, good. So reach Brendan Payne or Greg Harrelson on Facebook Messenger. If you have any questions, just shoot them our way. And until the next podcast, thank you so much for listening.